Welcome to this tutorial on audio mastering. So what we're looking at here is the metering. So right here you see meters. If you click on these meters, it comes up real big on the side, or you can click on it again and make them go away. The key command for that is command shift and the 8 key, command shift 8, and that comes up over here. And the goal here is to always have dialogue, stuff that's coming out of your main character or interview's mouth. Anywhere from -6 to 0. So this is measured in decibels. It's a negative scale, and it goes down to negative infinity. If your stuff is hitting around here, the audience at home is going to have to turn up their headphones or turn up their speakers, and then something else comes on and it's going to be blasting them out. So we want to make sure that your decibel meter is reading somewhere between 0 and -6. If you go over, it clips and it sounds really bad. If you're using the volume line, it can go over. So if you're seeing red stuff on the meters,
I'm playing on the computer with my friends. Why?
This is not clipping, so it is mixed fairly well, but you don't want it to go over and get distorted. If it goes over, it sounds pretty bad, and I'll show you that in class. But we're going to select this clip and just double check that the volume, we don't want it to be set above 0 dB. So I'm going to make this 0 dB. So this is back to normal. And then what we are going to do is add a peak limiter. So if you go into the effects browser, you can search right here LIM for limiter, and this AU peak limiter is built into the Mac operating system. It's a one slider thing that fixes the issue. Might not be the best way to quote unquote master your audio, but it's a quick and easy thing that usually does a really good job. So I'm just going to click and drag it onto this clip. And now we're going to see it under the audio side. So here's the video side, here's the audio side of the inspector window. So if I scroll down, we have this peak limiter and then we have parameters. If you go to the pre-gain, so we added like 7 decibels of gain here. We're going to push the pre-gain up probably 7 decibels. But if you look, the waveform right here, the squiggly line, is going to grow. And we're looking to get it somewhere between -6 and 0. I can also look here at the squiggly line. So if I push pre-gain, like if I push it too much, 40 decibels,
Where do you eat your lunch?
it kind of squishes everything. It brings up all the noise in the background, and when the person talks, these are going to be the peaks that we're seeing here. So you probably don't want 40 decibels. Oh, why is it? So if I'm down to 23, let's see what that is.
Where do you eat your lunch? What?
So we just want probably about 6 or 7 decibels, how it was before. You're starting to see little peaks here. It's coming up to -6. On some editors, and I haven't figured this out yet, some editors, even when you're at 0 decibels and even when you're using a peak limiter, it mixes it at -6. I bet it's somewhere in the preferences. I haven't looked it up, but that's okay. If you're mixing to -6, I'm fine with that. So we're adding 7 decibels of gain to this clip, and we're keeping the volume line at 0. You're going to do that for each of these clips. So you go through, if it's different people in different environments, you're probably going to want to do it independently, but there is a way to copy it. Let's say you did it on one clip and you wanted to copy it to all clips. So I'm going to select the clip, and I'm going to copy command C, and then I'm going to select the clips I want to apply those attributes to. So it's called paste attributes, command shift V. So command V is paste, so that would just paste the clip wherever my time bar was. But if I hit command shift V, it's pasting the attributes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say I want the peak limiter. It's a 7 decibel push that I did with this first clip, and I'm going to also set my volume to be at 0 dB. So all these other clips have been pushed with this line. You kind of push the line up, or you come over to the audio inspector and push the line right. And that'll add decibels, but it allows it to go over 0, thus clipping, and clipping sounds distorted and bad. So we're not going to do that. Always for dialogue, this is set to 0, and we're going to use a peak limiter to lift the audio. So I'm going to hit paste, and now if I look, each of these clips should be set to 0 decibels, and they should have a peak limiter connected to them with a 7 decibel pre-gain push. So if I'm going through now,
What do you do during your lunchtime?
so this clip is going up over 6.
Because it's fun. It's a break from school.
But it's hitting somewhere when there's dialogue.
I eat outside.
around -6. -6 to 0 is where we want to be. So if it's still not loud enough, some of these you can push your pre-gain, like this one didn't get up as hot as we maybe want, so I can push, 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 and let's see what that does. Now when he's talking, it's hitting where we want it to be. So it's kind of like 3/4 up the meters at -6, and that's going to do it for your audio mastering. So you just want to check all your clips and watch the meters and listen carefully. Sometimes it helps with headphones as well to get really critical on the mix. We want everything to be mastered so it's all up hitting so that our audience at home doesn't have to change their volume.